question from Prabhu Ravichandran, and he asks, he's trying to improve his value in his customer's mind. Where should he start?
Trying to improve value in your customer's mind. Where should you start? So the only way to improve value is to figure out what is the problem. So regardless of what you sell, what industry you're in, etc., you first have to say, what is the problem that they have? Then you have to say, here's my solution. And your solution has to work. So let's assume your solution works. They have this problem. My solution is this, and it's going to cost you X amount of dollars for me to implement my solution. The point where money is exchanged between a potential customer and you is when they feel like the value of your service exceeds the value that they put on the dollars in their pocket. It's that simple, right? So if you make parts, like Tim Drinkwater, who's on this live, love you, Tim. Tim is a CNC machine shop out of Janesville, Wisconsin. Tim makes parts. Now, a person doesn't have the tools to make parts. They don't have the machines to make parts for aerospace or whatever. You can come in, Laura. So they don't have the machines or the equipment to do it. So then they go out to people and say, hey, can you make these parts? If they trust that Tim is going to deliver a solution, which in that case, it's going to be speed is important to them, quality is important to them, and consistency, right? Those factors. Customer service, yes. But lead time, you can come in, Laura. Don't worry about it. You can come in. We're live. It's all good. I don't want to take up your space. So those things are important to them. The speed at which they can turn things around, the consistency that they can do it, and the quality of the parts. Could it be price? Possibly. But if Tim has done a good enough job being like, dude, we provide the best quality, consistency, etc., customer service, then that buyer will say, you know what? I trust Tim. And you can't close a deal until you have 100% trust. So you have to first say, what is the problem that you're facing? Now, if you go into it and say, I know the problem you're facing, all companies are facing with this problem, and you just show up and throw up, then you're going to fail. You have to go into it and ask questions. What are 3 things that you're having issues with right now in this area? What are 2 things that you wish you could improve? What is 1 thing that blah, blah, blah? You ask those fact-finding questions. You gather up all your facts. Then you present your solution to them while building that trust, explaining to them why it works, how you've done it for other companies, how that is a common issue. You start to relate with them. You're building that trust there. But in order for you to provide value, they first have to know that they have a problem. Unfortunately, a lot of companies don't realize that they have a problem until you bring it up. So if you're a manufacturer, if you're Tim Drinkwater, CNC machine shop, it's like you call somebody and you say, hey, wanted to see what issues you're having with your supply chain. That commodity manager will maybe like, don't have any issues, dude. I'm good. My supply chain is on lockdown. I have no issues. Versus if you went into it and were like, hey, there's a shortage coming on steel, or there's an influx in pricing in steel. The whole market is going to shift and prices are going to go up, but I pre-purchased and I have X amount of inventory and I'm not going to hit everybody with the price increase. I'm going to do it at a reduced rate. Then maybe that becomes a problem for them, right? Because they weren't thinking about it. But if you just do fact find, like, hey, how are you guys currently handling this? What's the normal lead time that you have for these parts for turnaround? Oh, our normal lead time is like 3 to 5 weeks that I get from my suppliers. Then Tim could be like, oh, ours is 1 to 2 weeks. They didn't even know that they have a problem with supply chain lead time until they talk to somebody that's doing it better. So you have to ask those questions. Fact find, ask questions, offer up a solution. If you do a good job selling, if you go more from an education standpoint, like, hey, I'm here to help solve your problems. If I can, I might not be able to, but answer these questions and we'll figure it out together. You're building that rapport, building the value, hit them with the price. As long as you're not crazy with your price and like just gouging them, you should be able to close business. Hope that answers the question. What else you got, Riley?
And then Tim Drinkwater has a question. He asks, is regular newsletters still worth doing in conjunction with sequences?
So I think that newsletters are okay to do to people that sign up for them, or people that are cold. If you said, hey, check out this newsletter. We produce X amount of content every week, because education and entertainment at the same time. You send that to them once to see if they sign up. That's a good play. If you're sending sequences and you force them into a newsletter, that I think is a bad play, because you're going to be cutting off your nose in spite of your face. You're going to be killing that chain of sequences by hitting with a newsletter. You got to look at it as like, what's more important? The newsletter is great for those that are like, I don't want to buy yet. I just want to kick the tires a little bit. So I want to see what you guys are about. You said that you're producing this content. Are you? Are you consistent? Are you going to provide me with some value? So a newsletter to me is like top of funnel, a segue into bringing somebody into a good conversation. A sales sequence, cold, warm, the unsold, etc. Those are more direct. Hey, I want to do business with you. Here's the things that we do. Here's the things that we offer. Here's some value for you, etc. So that's more aggressive, like sales outbound, right? Like it's coming from the salesperson. It's like a cold call versus just waiting for them. So I would say if you were going to run in a sequence, do not do it. Newsletter, just push that to the side. Have a newsletter on your page somewhere on your site. You can even do an exit pop-up intent. Somebody's trying to exit the page, hit the back button, pop-up pops up. Hey, sign up to our newsletter. We talk about X, Y, and Z every single week to try and entice them. The exit intent pop-ups always perform the best with newsletters. It's not the footer, it's not in the body, it's the exit intent or some sort of pop-up that says, hey, did you know we have a newsletter? Sign up here. That's top of funnel. That'll bring people in that are not interested in doing anything right now, but could very quickly. We've had people sign up for a newsletter and then book a discovery call like 3 days later. They got that initial email back from the newsletter, or a week later, they saw the first newsletter, like, okay, these guys do know what they're talking about in my industry. Now I want to talk to them. Hope that helps. Tim,